Tucked away in the British Virgin Islands, Necker Island is one of the world's most luxurious private getaways, and the residence of none other than Sir Richard Branson. Dripping with opulence down to the last detail, this island has hosted A-list celebrities and even members of royalty. So, it's really no surprise that behind the scenes, it has seen its fair share of disturbing incidents. From guests using the staff as human targets to wild parties involving a sex cult, this is the curious story of Necker Island, a tropical paradise and a Caribbean hell rolled into one. The unusual treatment of Necker Island staff. On Necker Island, Richard Branson's high-end spot in the Virgin Islands, you're looking at a hefty $40,000 per night for the A-list experience. But here's the lowdown. Behind the scenes of all that luxury, things get a bit, well, strange. The staff here go to some pretty unusual lengths to make sure the rich and famous guests get whatever they want. And what they want are often eccentric demands, to put it mildly. In an exclusive revelation within a new BBC documentary, Millie, an accountant on Necker Island's accounts team, revealed a pretty shocking anecdote from the island. She allowed guests to indulge in sushi served off her naked midriff during a birthday celebration. What began as a mere suggestion of eating sushi off a hot girl to guests by Branson unfolded into an uncomfortable reality of the Necker staff. But that's not all. There's an unusual culinary rule that exists on the island. The staff serving food need to match the sexy vibes of the delicious dishes they're dishing out. And here's where it gets interesting. Apparently, Branson takes on the role of a matchmaker, keeping a watchful eye on the gorgeous and single girls in his team. Now, does that seem weird to you? Well, brace yourself because it gets even more bizarre. The island's dark side stretches beyond the kitchen, where guests are encouraged to turn golf into a spectacle, aiming balls at human targets. And on top of that, in the game of sumo golf, British guest Patch and others recall when they happily bombarded a bouncing staff member on an offshore trampoline, using golf balls made from soluble fish food. Patch, recounting the unusual game, revealed the discomfort within the human target's costume, necessitating an ice pack for relief. If you ask me, this paints quite a creepy picture of Necker Island's unconventional and, at times, unsettling activities. Allegations of Richard Branson's inappropriate behavior. In the sun-soaked retreat of Necker Island, a terrible scandal emerged when Antonia Janae, the Joss Stone-backing singer, claimed in a Facebook post that Sir Richard Branson made unwanted advances towards her during a 2010 party on the island. Janae described a disconcerting encounter with the man, stating that as they were by the bar saying goodbye, Branson came up to her and intrusively placed his head between her cleavage, audaciously mimicking boat engine noises. It was totally out of the blue, she confided to the media. His behavior was disgusting, she added. To make matters even worse, Janae says the billionaire Virgin boss also begged her to go topless at a party on his Necker Island. Now, in response, Sir Richard asserted that he had no recollection of the incident, refusing the claims that surfaced after he invited Joss and her band to his Caribbean residence following their performance at the Go Green Festival on nearby Tortola in June 2010. Virgin Management's spokesperson backed up the claim and insisted everyone appeared to enjoy their time on the island. Richard has no recollection of this matter, and neither do his family and friends, who were with him on the island at the time. There would never have been any intention to offend or make anyone feel uncomfortable in any way, and Richard apologizes if anyone felt that way during their time on the island. The incident definitely sent up a flurry of red flags about Necker Island, making us all wonder, what's the real story behind the scenes? Is the island truly a safe haven for women like many people think? Let's find out. Wild beach parties by a sex cult. Now this is where things take a dark twist, shattering the seemingly tranquil reputation of the island once more. Back in 2018, an unsettling connection between Richard Branson's private Caribbean haven and the NGHIVM sex cult surfaced. This notorious cult operated under the deceptive branding of self-help and personal development, and it was led by a man named Keith Raniere. NGHIVM lured in a dedicated following, even celebrities like the Smallville actress Allison Mack. Reports revealed that members of the controversial cult, led by none other than Allison, threw wild parties on the exclusive retreat not once, but twice. Key cult figures, including the cult's co-founder Nancy Salzman, visited Necker Island for seminars in 2007 and 2010. And what did they all want? Well, the answer is pretty chilling. Former exile publicist Frank Parlato disclosed a haunting motive of the cult, revealing, "I was told the reason they staged the seminars on Necker was they hoped to recruit Branson into the organization. Branson, in their eyes, would have been the ultimate conquest and the perfect addition to boost their organization." Interestingly, and perhaps not so surprisingly, one of these secretive visits was apparently funded by Sarah Bronfman, a billionaire heiress deeply embedded in Ansevum. And here's the thing, Sarah's father, the late Edgar Bronfman Sr., had connections with Branson himself. In fact, the media got a hold of photographs showing Branson alongside Sarah and Mac on Necker Island in 2010, casting a very disturbing light on the alleged connection between the billionaire's paradise and the cult. But when he was approached by the media for a statement, Branson said he wasn't aware of any seminars, asserting he had never heard of Raniere and never even crossed paths with him. In fact, he genuinely believed that he was just booking the retreat for his friend, Sarah Bronfman, and her friends and family, as a good old gesture of goodwill. A Virgin management spokesman also denied any association of the cult with the island, saying, "There is absolutely no association between Sir Richard and the Nexivem group or its leader. So, yeah, this serene island could very well have been the den for a bunch of hedonists involved in crimes for quite some time." Controversial photo of a 100-year-old endangered tortoise. The king of Instagram, Dan Bilzerian, added another layer of controversy to the Necker Island story during his visit in 2017. Famous for his extravagant posts featuring opulence, beautiful women, and a taste for the extraordinary, Bilzerian caused a lot of outrage among his followers with a shocking snapshot he took on the island. In this unexpected upload, the American socialite took a different route from his usual backdrop of guns, yachts, and watches. The photograph showcased Bilzerian's friend, clad in a skimpy bikini and cap, straddling a 100-year-old Galapagos tortoise on the Necker Island. To put it into perspective how serious the situation was, this is a species that is literally listed as vulnerable by the World Wildlife Fund. The controversy deepened even more as people pointed out that the Galapagos National Parks expressly urges visitors not to touch or disturb the tortoises, intensifying the critique against Bilzerian's seemingly audacious and frankly cruel act. In response to the mounting outrage, Bilzerian also snapped back, saying, "Get off your soapbox. The people working there said it's fine to sit on them." And by people, he actually meant the staff on the island who were supposed to be protecting the wildlife. Of course, the post sparked many heated discussions about ethical considerations and wildlife preservation on the island, throwing Bilzerian's Instagram feed into a storm of controversy that enveloped Branson too. The hedge fund owner Jameson Ernest directed his criticism straight at the island's owner over this incident, saying, "I'm very disappointed to see your beautiful protected creatures as zoo rides." Branson's use of Necker Island as a tax haven. But hold on, because the scandals don't stop there. Recently, Sir Richard Branson's patriotic facade as a proud Britisher took a massive hit as he revealed that he's been living as a tax exile for the past 7 years. And believe it or not, he has his island to thank for it. Basically, he shifted his main residence to the British Virgin Islands, more precisely, to his private Caribbean island retreat, Necker. This strategic move shields his income from taxation, neatly aligning with the tax haven status of the British Virgin Islands. But as you can imagine, as the public's criticism started pouring in, Branson swiftly defended his position, saying that his intention was only to spend his remaining years on Necker for health reasons, rather than purely financial motives. He wrote about it on his Virgin blog. "I have been very fortunate to accumulate so much wealth in my career, more than I need in my lifetime, and would not live somewhere I don't want to for tax reasons." Branson assured the public that his companies, including Virgin Rail and Virgin Money, are continuing to pay corporation tax, making substantial contributions to the tax system, regardless of his own non-resident tax status. However, critics like Alex Smith from the UK Uncut, a group pushing for bigger tax contributions, don't mince words, saying, "Branson is damaging his personal brand. I don't see any difference between him and a hedge fund manager. He is quite happy to take from this country but is not happy to give very much back. If he is so loaded, he can afford to spend his time on charity work. Why doesn't he pay 50% tax?" Of course, despite many scandals and bad PR, you can't deny that Necker Island remains the ultimate luxury retreat in the world. Now, if you enjoyed this, make sure to click on the boxes on your screen and I'll catch you there.